Greetings and salutations, Tube Dwellers. Welcome back to Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. We're going to do a little bit more ladder play. We're going to switch things up, though. Today, I will not be commentating this first person as I play it. Today, I played it earlier without muttering a peep. And now, watching the video, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to say some things. As you see my past self jump around with the utmost focus. And hopefully put up a good fight here. This match was played earlier today, so it is still pretty fresh in my mind. I should be able to illustrate what I was thinking at different points in time in the match. So it was a Zerg versus Zerg, Rary Jack. Gonna whip out the Zerg on me, eh? That is alright. Zerg vs. Zerg is actually my favorite mirror match. Protoss vs. Protoss, Terran vs. Terran, no thanks. Both of those have just huge pain in the butt hurdles to get over. Terran vs. Terran especially. I just don't like that crap. Oh, it's bad. It's terrible. All the contingency plans you have to have. But ZVZ! I always feel like I can be a bully. I always feel like I've got a little bit of the stylings of the other two races. And so I'm always just a touch more aggressive than other Zergs. I don't know if that's going to be the case necessarily in this game, or even in my future ZVZs, but I've always felt that way in the past anyway. So Zerg versus Zerg, how might this play out in the early stages? Well, there are 3 different openers that Zerg can do against another Zerg, and I don't mean 3 specifically, but I mean in a general sense. There's 3 different ways you can go about starting a game. And given that gas timing, I can tell you which one I'm going to do. I'm going to go middle of the road. If you get a spawning pool at your regular time, and by regular I mean roughly the time that the other races would get their barracks or gateways, you're kind of safe to everything. If they open economically, you can put pressure on. If they open aggressively, you can defend the pressure. So those outline the 3 different general ways that you can open with Zerg. You can either open with a hatchery first on, say, 15 food, and give yourself an economic edge, but open yourself up to be a little bit weak to early pressure, especially cheesy aggression. You could put on the cheesy aggression. You could go with a 6-8 or even a 10 pool. Put on some pressure very early. One of my special favorite variations of that is a 10 pool into gas about halfway through the pool, and then get a Baneling nest. Do not get Zergling speed, and do like a 2 Baneling plus 6 Slowling push. 2 Banelings that early, you can almost always get them right into the mineral line and get them both to go off together. And that can be a lot of drones. And given that everything's really slow at that stage in the game, you don't really need fast lings. Although if they're doing any kind of a fast ling build, then it hurts if they do a follow-up, because you end up getting ling speed way late. Anyway, I'm talking way too much about that specific strategy. What we have here, as you see now on your screen, is a 15 hatch from the other Zerg. I can tell very easily that it's a 15 hatch because I did a pool first build, and I just now put my hatchery down. He has his hatchery completed, so his hatchery had to go down about the same time as my spawning pool. So he's going the economic route, huh? Well, I went middle of the road. He went high economy. Now, if I would have went high aggression, which would have been an even earlier pool, then I would be putting huge aggression on right now, immediately. I'd probably already have the Zerglings over there. My Zerglings would be walking into his base before that hatchery finished. But I didn't do that. I just went with a kind of middle-of-the-road pool. So I'm going to jump in there with just a couple lings. It looks like I got 1 drone kill. Did some damage on some others, but with Zerg regeneration, the damage doesn't account for anything. And then I'm going to queue up some more Zerglings. Now my ling speed's finishing. My Baneling nest is syncing up. I'm going to have Zergling speed way faster than him. Since he got a hatchery first, I can almost assure you that he didn't get gas before the hatchery, and that he didn't get the pool before the hatchery, and that he probably, I don't know, maybe he's starting ling speed right about now. Matter of fact, I did see the gas with that Zergling. I would fair to bet ling speed for him will be here within the next, probably minute 30. Just because that's about how late his gas pool combination was from mine. Now, mine's in play. Mine's ready to go. Oh, he did get the Baneling nest fast, though, so that's going to delay his ling speed even further, but it's going to give him some defensive capabilities. The Banelings are really useful against a lot of lings. However, I'm not using a style with necessarily a lot of lings, or just a couple lings with just the right upgrade. 3 banelings. If 2 of those get through, I can do huge damage to drones. Oh, he's so close to killing 2 different ones. Nice Zergling hit and 2 banelings. I think both of them splashed 3 drones. One of them splashed a couple more, but only 3 drones got hit twice and got killed. So I'm looking at about 4 drone kills here, and I feel like we've probably spent similar larva on Zerglings. Now I've got a couple key upgrades already. Well, I guess 1, not really a couple. I do have an extra queen out. That, I don't know, it's an advantage similar to the upgrade. But I feel like he's probably had the chance to get to more larvae, and we've used about equal amounts. So that tells me that he's probably going to have a little timing for a Zergling push if he wants to do it, or he could probably get ahead of me on drones. It looks like I'm trying to go really heavy on drones, but seeing some lings come through from him, I morph my survivor into a baneling and pump out just a few more Zerglings here. Now, I'm planning for the future, because I'm planning that, that I can take an economic lead after the little bit of aggression that I did. After killing a couple drones, a lot of times players will expect you to keep going, to go deep with the pressure, especially if they got a hatch out first. Some players just really misguess exactly how much of an advantage that is. I didn't get a lot of damage done to him, so he might think that I feel like I need to do more of it. And he may not drone. Now, if I can not do any more pressure and just totally commit to droning, maybe I can step ahead of him in the economic game, and I'm even whipping out an upgrade to try to stack in that same direction. I'm getting the +1 range damage. That means that I intend to go into roaches, and I've actually already slapped out my roach warren and hydralisk in. I don't really know optimal timings for this. You really, in Wings of Liberty, you only used hydras against Zerg in a couple rare cases. Sometimes you whipped hydras out against Stargate units in Zerg versus Protoss. But you didn't ever get hydralisks quickly against Zerg, and I don't know, I guess for some reason, whatever reason, I feel like I should do that. I'm getting the hydralisk, I believe, movement speed upgrade, and then the roach movement speed upgrade. Now those two should time up, maybe not perfectly, but pretty closely with my +1 range damage, and that'll give me a nice little timing where I have a couple little bonuses, boosts to my forces, that all come into play right at the same time. Now if I can just get some forces on the map to match up with that timing, then I might have a nasty little push. As I send my drone out for my third, I become aware that I need to see his third as well. My overlords are not in perfect place to do that, but I'm moving them into position now, so hopefully I'll see it before it's too late, before he's able to just do something obscene with macro and get himself into a position where it's even hard to do damage to him. He's also scouting me, so he's going to see this Roach Hydra style. He's going to see at least the buildings. I'm not sure that he saw the evolution pit. And the upgrade isn't done yet, so he couldn't click on my units and see that I'm lining up a timing. There was a Metamorphosis. I'm not sure exactly which one it was. And you know what I just realized? I wonder if I have notifications turned off. In Wings of Liberty, it used to give you a notification in the top left anytime any production or upgrade finished. And it would show the icon of it. Not exactly, but it would show you an icon if it was an upgrade, or a differing icon if it was unit production. It's not there now. So I assume, and I just had an evolution complete too, I assume that my timings are lining up here. I'm just now pumping out a bunch of roaches. It looks like I mean to go primarily roach, and then just mix in a few hydralisks. And I don't really care so much about their range, I just care about their movement speed, being able to couple with the attack, so that they get to the enemy base at about the same time as my roaches. And I am putting a couple more hydras on the back end of this. That's only really viable if I have the movement speed. If I would have got the Hydra range, then you probably don't want to try to reinforce this with Hydralisks, because they just won't get there. Ooh, and I'm getting a couple Hydras taken out, not in the most ideal position. But I also just took out a couple Zerglings, and I see now that he is trying to get a third. Oh, and here we go. He has a lot of Zerglings. He's trying to whip out Spine Crawlers. The Zergling count here tells me immediately that he's not going roaches. I should expect Mutalisks at any second. And sure enough, there's the Spire. This means that I need to get in and get as much damage done as possible before the Mutas come up, because I do not have the Hydralisk count to keep this push going. I don't have the Hydralisk count to stay in his face, so when the Mutas come up, he's going to be able to pretty much stop this push. Not necessarily dead in its tracks, but without too much delay. Oh, and there the Mutas are coming out. I'm going to snipe off a queen. That hurts his production. I'm leaving the roaches there to kill a couple drones. I killed all of the drones on the natural. And it looks like I'm a little confused about what to do with these roaches. I like the target fire on the spire. But he's got a nice clump of mutas. That's not going to be fast enough. Down go the roaches. It is now the era of the muta. He has a timing window here where he knows I don't have a lot of hydralisks. He can try to get in and offset all the damage that he just took by dealing a lot of damage to me. Now, let's see how successful he is in this. And, ooh, I especially like that. I just rallied some Zerglings without putting them on my main hotkey down to his third base, so that while I'm doing this defense against the mutas with stuff in my base, and while I'm adding things to my primary control group and using it to defend, these Zerglings that just spawned, that you're going to see on the mini-map running straight across, are going to be aggressive. And for the most part, I don't even have to watch them other than telling them to run that way. Once I spawn them, his mutas are getting some damage in. They've killed 2 queens already. That's taken my production down. I have 1 queen left. Luckily, my larva injects have been a little delinquent, so she's got a lot of energy. I'm way slow getting these spore crawlers up. Oh my god. Those spore crawlers, it would have been great if I could have canceled those. I have the hydras to deal with this in a direct sense, but the mutas are just too fast. Now, he killed both spore crawlers, but he didn't kill a lot of drones. There were a lot of drones low, but not a lot of drones were lost, so that's not bad. He looks like he's a little confused now with this mutas. He should probably just try to bounce back and forth between my main and my natural until I split my mutas, or until I split my hydras, to keep the mutas out of both. But he's not doing that. He's going to go back and defend. He knows that he's got lings running rampant in different parts of his base, and all that clump of hydralisks. That is looking nice, and it looks like I have aggression on my mind. I've given the attack move command straight to the front of his natural. It looks like I've got Zerglings spearheading the group. They may even be a little premature. Oh, he doesn't want to see that. And GG's for it. Beautiful. Well, there you have yet another placement match. Another victory. That's going to be my 3rd. I only have 2 more placement matches left. And, yeah, my performance. I did something better. Workers created. So the lower workers created, the better. I guess that means you won the game without having to go that late. Spent my resources fairly well. And here you have a little comparison on our economy. You can see where I stopped investing in the drones and started to put that money into that push that I did that hit him a little early. You can see that my army popped out ahead of his. And let's take a peek. It looks like platinum. Alright, so it's now been platinum, gold, platinum. Hopefully I stick to platinum. Maybe even get a diamond next. That would be amazing. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you later.